Hi everyone, I had some people ask me to do a tutorial on how I cover my chipboard and then cut it out. So I have this piece of chipboard here that it's got a scalloped edge on it, and I've covered it with adhesive. Ideally I would probably use matte medium, but I don't want to wait for it to dry right now. And I have my paper. Now I want to make sure I keep my pattern kind of straight, because my pattern, it would look kind of funny if it wasn't. So I'm going to line it up here on my grid with my board, and then I'm going to get as close to the edge as I can on at least one side, so I don't have to cut it again. But if you've got it all the way around and you need to cut all of the sides, then go ahead. But I want to keep this as straight as possible so I don't have to cut out too much stuff. Now here's a trick that I find is, if I go ahead and cut off the straightest edge I have, because I want the bulk to be gone. So I've got a lot of bulk over here. I want this bulk to be gone so it's not in my way. I just get a ruler, and I like a metal ruler whenever I'm using my craft knife. So I'm going to line that up. You want to make sure you have a really sharp blade on your X-Acto knife, and I personally do not care for the swivel blades, but that's just a personal preference. If you have one, then use it if you want to. And the trick is, don't apply too much pressure. I see people, and they're always like using these heavy, just a lot of pressure. I suggest just an even pressure. It doesn't have to be, like you're gonna cut through 20 sheets of paper, and you may have to go over it a couple of times to remove it, but you'll know whenever it's finished. So see, like that was a pretty straight cut, and I've got these edges that are kind of pulling off right here, but this is canvas on one side. So now I've got this edge right here that is kind of rounded here and here. Super simple. Just come around here and follow along, and it cuts it right off. See? Perfect edge right there. Now I'm going to do that over here on this side. And again, I think the key is pressure. It's the amount of pressure. Some people, I see it, and they look like they're killing it. Now, as far as the scalloped edge goes, I probably need to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me get kind of tight here on the zoom. Okay, so you should be able to see pretty good now. I just follow along. I need to get close enough to the edge. And like I said, don't apply too much pressure, and remove as much of the bulk as you can. And I find that if I can go in a straight line, like this, straight across, remove the bulky pieces. See, get that out of the way. And I'm probably going to have to turn this so I can see it. I'm going to trim off that edge right there, and trim off way down here. I'm just following along that edge. The trick, like I said, is the amount of pressure that you apply, and it's also making sure that it's even pressure and you're not applying too much pressure. Then I turn this so that it's facing me, and I start working on the inside of these little scallops, pulling away. I find I do much better if I'm pulling away from myself, or well, here I'm pulling towards myself, but pull in one direction, whichever one is comfortable for you. I'm trying to do this for camera. So pulling towards yourself, you do so much better. I said it backwards the first time, I think. But see how I'm working it in stages? I'm not trying to just go around the scallop. Instead, I'm starting at this point here in the center, and I'm pulling towards myself. turn it, and it's okay to turn your project and just do little pieces. And I'm gonna pull this around so you guys can see it. It's a pretty even edge right there. It looks pretty clean. Now some people will take files and kind of file down these little edges right here, but I don't worry so much about that, to be honest with you. I think it just destroys your paper. Again, pull around this way. And I just keep working it like this until all of it is cut. Pulling towards myself, trying to follow along with the chipboard, taking it small pieces at a time, cleaning off my knife here as I go. And you know, you could even do all of them in one direction and then come back, flip it around. I can't do it from this direction because I can't see, so I need to pull it back towards me here. Yeah, I definitely pull towards myself. Make sure you don't have your thumb in the way, because I have cut myself too. You know, keep them fingers out of the way. Now, when I do this, I do one side at a time. I do the front side, and then I flip it over and do the back side. I don't try to cover both sides at one time and cut at one time, because that's when you mess up. And then let me get this right here. Now, that's a pretty clean edge. It's a little mucked up right there a little bit, but if you go over it, I just take my finger, roll those things back down, or you can take some distress ink and distress the edges of it, and when you do that, it'll kind of clean it up a little bit. If this is a little too rough for you right through here, you could take a file, but I don't have one on my desk, so I can't show you. But if you're gonna file it, pretend this is a fingernail file. I would file it like this. Not like this. Does that make sense? I hope so. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope this video helps the person who asked me to do it for them, and I think it was Alice. And if you're a newbie, this might be a good tip for you guys. If anybody has any better ideas on how to do it how to cover chipboard that has a weird edge, then you know, send me a video response and we'll tack it onto this video, so hopefully the person who asked can get multiple ideas. So thank you guys for watching.